Wait, what are you having? I didn't see because you. What?
I'm having 100 plus.
Hey, is that an Audi drink? That has to be.
Sulp. Does it look like sulp on yours? Zulp.
What's it? Is it an Audi drink or something? What is it? Or is it
No.
alcohol?
No, I'll tell you when the episode starts.
Okay. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Average Blokes podcast, where we on this show like to... Oh, I'm being judged already. Can't even do the intro without being judged.
The enthusiasm behind this man.
Look, trust me, it's a lot better than last week.
Welcome back, everybody.
Remember the last week? I was like, what do I do again? Yes, welcome back to another episode. What was I up to? Oh yeah, where we on the show we try to prove we're above average, and with me today is my best mate again, Troy, and
Sup.
Courtney, who's constantly disappearing and reappearing somewhere in the background.
Yes, Courtney, you know you sort of appear a little bit in the background.
I'm trying to get all my stuff out.
Troy is drinking a... What are you drinking, Troy?
Nope, it's too late. I'm drinking a 100 plus. You're not naked, but the closer you get to the camera, the more naked you look.
This is how we get more views and listeners. We keep mentioning that your wife could be naked or not wearing clothes. And people are like, what is this?
You put it the wrong way. You're supposed to put it this way. So I can say, you know nothing, Jon Snow. There, yes, dude, yes, perfect.
Winter is coming. Plot twist.
Winter is coming.
Winter is here.
The Night's Watch doesn't understand the way the Lannisters work, but I do. Jon Snow does. I know many things.
So
I started off alright. It was an alright voice at first.
I mean, I'm not judging your voice.
You just got to do it slightly gruff.
I'm just trying to figure out what this 100 plus stuff is.
Oh yeah, well I was going to say, so I'm drinking 100 plus. You
not
know
sponsored,
what it is?
No. It looks like it's a Red Bull Energy rip-off or something.
You'd think so, right? It looks like an energy drink. It's not. It's an electrolyte drink.
Oh.
It's more like Powerade.
Oh, okay.
It is essentially Barocca, right? Mm-hmm. But more carbonated. It's a original carbonated isotonic electrolyte drink. And
from Audi. Or
nope. I know you can get it. I got this one from Coles, but I think you can get it from Safeway too. So, a funny thing about this drink, right? I've seen cans of this around job sites, and I've even seen like Asian people drinking them. Okay. A lot of Asian people who work on sites, I always see them drinking one of these, and I'm like, huh. I only see Asian people drinking it. I never see a white guy or a black guy or anything like that drinking it.
Yeah.
And I mean that in the most
sincere way.
Because guess where you get it from?
Coles Safeway?
Yes, but the Asian food aisle.
Oh, really? Okay. Because there is like there's like some of the aisles that are like international foods and stuff like that.
And it's manufactured in Malaysia.
Actually,
and the company's based in Singapore.
Now I think about it, maybe I have seen it. I've just never been bothered to pick it because I've seen there's an Energizer one or something weird name.
Made in Malaysia, yeah. So it's I always saw a guy, like a couple of guys like Tyler's or someone drinking it, and I'm like, what is that? And then I saw a can. I'm like, oh, and then I saw it at Coles and was like, I'll try it one time.
Is it certain flavored, that one you particularly drink, or is there just one flavor?
It's just it's just one flavor. I don't know if there might be other flavors out there, but Coles only has the original, which it says there. But it tastes like Barocca except without the orange flavoring.
Yep.
So if it's but it's sweet. It's sweet, sugary.
Okay.
It's a very... I describe it as a medicine tasting. Like it tastes medicine-y, but not like Dr. Peppery kind of medicine. No. Just kind of like sweet stuff.
Yeah.
Like cough, not like cough syrup, but it's similar.
Yeah.
Imagine cough syrup, but without the extra flavor that like. I'm trying to think of the actual term, but like the Dr. Pepper flavor.
Yep. Which Dr. Pepper's taste horrific. I don't know how people can drink Dr. Peppers. It's the worst.
I love Dr. Pepper.
It's the worst. It's a sarsaparilla for my taste.
Best way to describe this is salty, sugary. It tastes like you're drinking salt and sugar.
Yeah, I can imagine that. I can imagine like it being like a Powerade, but with fizz.
Like sweet salt water.
Yum, maybe.
But it's actually really yummy, and it would make sense because it is an electrolyte drink, so it's supposed to have sugars and salts and stuff.
Okay.
But I got it one time, and I was like, oh, I can see why guys drink this at work sites or at job sites. But But now, and so I buy one every time I see one. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll get one.
Mm-hmm.
So I either get this from Coles or I get like a not a Big M. What's the other one called? An Oak.
Okay, fair enough.
But they haven't brought out any special flavour Oaks lately, so I get this instead.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think if I had tried anything new. Oh, when I've been going to the grocery shops lately, specifically like Coles, I was at Coles today, and they're really trying to push them Nutella biscuits. Have you seen them?
Oh, Nutella biscuits.
Yeah, so basically it's like a Arnott's biscuit with a Nutella filled center.
Filling. I've had the Milo Kit Kats, but not that.
Milo Kit Kats are weird because like in my brain I'm like, these should be really, really good because I like both Kit Kats and Milo.
I like them. I think they're great.
They're okay.
They're not, but
Not amazing.
They're not. Yeah, they're a little better than a normal Kit Kat. Other than that, I'd rather get a cookies and cream or some other flavour.
Yeah, that's fair.
They taste a little bit like. Trying to think. Yeah, cookies and cream flavour. It just tastes a little bit like that, or fudge. I guess.
Yeah, true. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why we're doing food reviews or something, but the whole thing about
Jackson. This is general discussion. My highlight of the week was buying this drink.
I haven't really got a highlight of the week, to be honest. I guess the highlight of the week is that it's Friday now.
I was going to say, Jackson, I did say it was just buying this drink, so I've had such an interesting week this week.
No, I can somewhat relate. So, yeah, don't stress too much.
Bit of a cruisy one for you too. Nothing interesting happened.
No, just, I mean, I don't want to get into the topic of our first little segment thing already, but yeah, work this week has been absolute, how do I say it, butt effing. This week.
Oh, well then that's your highlight of the week. Highlight of the week doesn't have to be a good highlight.
No, that's true.
You want to know what my highlight of the week was actually? It was showing up to a job site that essentially was like basically a full day's work, and it wasn't planned. I just got sent because other jobs had fallen through, so I got sent to this job, and this job was apparently booked from. Originally, they wanted us to come Monday, so the builder has called up and asked if we can come Monday, and my manager was going, "No, he can show up Wednesday or Tuesday."
Right. Okay.
So I rock up like Wednesday this week instead of Wednesday next week or Tuesday next week. And I walk into the house and it's a complete mess because there's people plastering and there's just stuff all over the floors. But the most important thing I found is I walked up to where the kitchen, living room and all that, looked to my left where there should be some steps leading upstairs, and most of the work is upstairs for this job. Like 70% of it's upstairs. And there's a ladder.
Okay.
So no one's installed the steps.
Nice.
So I can't do my job unless they want me to carry buckets of like 20-kilo buckets of screed up this ladder, or even just the bags up the ladder. I mean, I could do it, but it'd just be, I'd have to make a pulley system. It would not be safe.
That's way above your pay rate too. But it sounds like you go too far.
Yeah. So because the builder asked for us to come Monday, I'm going to show up Monday, and if they haven't installed steps over the weekend, which they probably haven't, then I won't be doing the job.
Yeah, fair enough. I still can't think of a highlight except for the fact that it's Friday, at least. That's my highlight.
That's a good highlight.
Yeah.
Jackson was lazy yesterday. He was too busy playing Pokemon to do the podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I had a 6 o'clock start.
And it's a good thing too, because we had to fix his stream, didn't we, Jackson?
Yeah. Did you do your...
And now I'm going to jump into our little surprise segment that I didn't tell you about. We're going to talk about, before we go to Jackson's rants, we'll go to Jackson's streams.
Spoiler alert on what's coming up. Jeez. He's just giving it away.
Now people know. Well, it won't be much of a mystery.
If you don't want to listen to the surprise bit for some reason, just skip ahead.
This is our new segment, Troy's Advice, right?
Troy's Advice.
I'm very good at giving people advice.
This segment's called Troy's Advice segment. That's what it is.
You don't have to listen to it.
Troy's Advice.
I have one question, Jackson. Why is it that it's taking you like 2 years? Oops, shouldn't play with that. Why is it taking you like 2 years to set up the chat box?
No, it's always been set up. I just sometimes decide to use it because, like as you found,
I have never seen it in any of your streams.
You know why? Because I only use it for certain games. So, and the thing is too, because in that layout I had, that was specifically for the Pokemon streams, and I thought to make it more interesting, I'll include the chat box. But then the problem is because when I do stream, there's usually little in chat activity. So it's like there's no one chatting in my chat anymore. So why do I even need to bother? Because I can just read the chat inside the bar.
Because people will be because that's part of the entertainment is seeing people do the chat, and even if it's just a little thing, you can respond to it, and then other people show up and they'll see. Like, I don't know about you, but I don't really like looking at the screen and then looking across at the chat thing. I'd rather go full screen, watch the whole thing, and then maybe if I want to, like, I don't know, have the chat thing on the side, or even just exit big screen to actually make the chat small. I like seeing what other people are saying.
Yeah. Okay, you know what?
People also like seeing their comments show up on the actual video.
That is actually very true.
There's a reason why every streamer, or every big streamer at least, well, every streamer probably, is doing it. It has a little chat box that comes up with the thing.
And you know,
I didn't even know you could do it.
You know what people say?
I didn't know how to do it, so even if I streamed it, it would take me a bit of time to figure it out.
And you know what's funny? When people do have chat box, they, like, when they stream, they'll go into a thing saying, "Oh, welcome to the YouTube channel," and people in the chat box go, "Oh, hi YouTube."
Yeah, that's right.
So I guess
the responses are
you know
brilliant.
what? I would take that advice on. That's actually generally some really good advice, because like I just never consider it being an important thing to have chat.
Now, the other bit of advice I'm going to give you is: have you saved the profile in OBS?
Yes.
So now you don't have to adjust your camera angle so you can see. Because as much as I enjoyed watching you play with 4 Nintendo DSs and have your hands go like
Well, yes, I look like
not quite that fast, but it's more like tap 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 tap, restart restart tap 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 tap.
It's very robotic.
As much as it was entertaining to see that, and it was actually quite entertaining in some ways, it was annoying having to go like this to see to actually see what's going on.
I took a while to figure out that you actually can rotate sources, which is something I didn't realize you could do. And I was thinking all this time, like, surely there's a better way to do it otherwise, because I only knew about the cropping part where you hold down a Control Alt.
You're like cropping it, making it bigger and smaller, and you're like, Troy, I don't understand. I'm like, just turn it. Just turn it diagonally.
Nah.
And then you turned it horizontally instead and flipped it. And I'm just like, oh my goodness.
Look, I was very tired last night when I was streaming that. But it was...
How long did you stream for?
Hour and a half it was about.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I must have popped in at the last 20 minutes or something.
You were,
because I popped in and right as every time I go to your streams, you always go, "Oh, I was thinking of wrapping up soon."
That was true though.
Every time I will appear, or I'll start watching you.
You'll save the stream,
and then literally 30 seconds after I like join the stream or whatever, start viewing it, I hear, yeah, it's getting pretty late. I better call it a night soon. I'll do a little bit. I'll go for another 10 minutes or so.
Because I have this thing in my brain where I look at the time and we go, okay, what sounds like a good time to end? So I was like, okay, I'll end at 9 o'clock. Then you joined in just before 9 o'clock. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to extend it a bit longer. So I'm like, 9:30 would be good.
For another 9:30.
Yeah. And then we kept going past 9. Then I'm like, okay, I should probably wrap up soon. It got to 10 o'clock and then I decided to wrap up.
Notice how I started viewing and then someone else started viewing?
Yes. Well, no, I think the other person was already there. They just weren't saying anything.
I think it helps to have at least one other person.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, true. But the other thing I was going to say is the only issue you've got with streaming, besides the fact that obviously you don't do it, you just do it for fun, so you do it when you feel like it, is that what people like us in Australia have to do, or at least the Australian streamers, I think they have to stream at like 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning and stuff to reach the American viewers.
No. So it's usually midday or mornings.
Ah, so it has to be early in the morning or midday?
Usually early in the mornings. So we have... Okay. So the internet has basically...
When you say early, how early are we talking?
6, 7.
Okay.
There's an Australian...
You start at 6 and then go until 9?
Sometimes. There's an Australian guy... Sorry, of course he's Australian. There's a guy in South Australia who streams like at 7:30, 8 o'clock a.m. to his American audience.
And what did... So
because Europe is... Some parts in Europe are still awake just. As opposed to America. So like when it's... like 8...
Is that mid-afternoon? It must be afternoon for them.
Who? America? Yes.
America, yeah.
So like if it's 10 a.m. here, it'd be
When the
like
kids get home
6
from
p.m.
school and that.
Yeah, it'd be like 6 p.m. there in the west, and maybe like nearly 9:30 or 9 o'clock p.m. in the
east. Okay, yeah.
So
Well,
there's
there you
a big window there. So, but yeah, he does that most Saturdays, I've noticed. So, but on the internet, like in the streamer community, if you're Australian and you stream from Australia, you're often known as doing the graveyard shift.
The graveyard shift.
Yeah, because it's dead.
I mean, don't get me wrong, that'd be perfect time for me. I already get up early in the morning, so I could do that. I'd have to actually.
Yeah. So this is
people like streamers don't work very hard. It's and wait, you wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. You're exactly like me. I just get up and go to a job site. Well, you get up and go to the computer.
True. One of my videos I woke up at 4 a.m. to be featured on another dude's channel.
Oh, really?
But
wow.
that's where all those subscribers came from.
What subscribers?
Like the 100, 200 that I got from that one video.
Oh, was that? Oh, the guy who like the Pokemon. Was he a streamer or just YouTuber? No, sorry, Splatoon. Splatoon, yes. Yeah. Was he a streamer or just a YouTuber?
He's a content creator. He does streaming and then he takes his VODs to video episodes and stuff on YouTube.
Ah, you got up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Did that?
It was 5 p.m. for him.
5 p.m.
in the UK.
Oh, was he in the UK? Oh,
yeah.
okay.
The time zones for us suck. Like, because usually when we wake up, the UK and Europe are mostly going to bed, which is why I said the graveyard shift. But then, in like I said, earlier mornings from like 8 o'clock is perfect for the US because it's their prime.
Makes sense.
And like this is another thing too that I was thinking, because like the only other major continent that would be awake when Australia is streaming is Asia. And like, and this is where the thing is like, do you want to learn another language so you can?
True. That you have a point there, but there's actually a lot more people in like Asia than all the other countries.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, there's definitely more in Australia, but I mean, there's more people in Asia or China and India, and India's part of Asia, isn't it?
Yes.
Is it considered part of Asia? I mean, it's still in the same time zone.
Yeah.
So
the thing is, no one from India is playing Splatoon on Nintendo games.
No one from India.
I can tell you that much. If anything, they're playing a game called Splitoon. Like,
I don't get it. Is there an actual game called Splitoon?
Like they're playing knockoff games. That's what I'm saying.
I get you. You're true. But do you play Splatoon? I play Splitoon. What do you do in that game? You split stuff.
It's like Splatoon, but knockoffy.
You shoot a gun, but a stick comes out and splits in half.
I shoot at swords, actually. Yeah.
But
anyway. So yeah,
that's true. You'd have to learn Indian or Chinese.
Japanese is the one.
Or at least basic
so
Japanese.
The Japanese would be the one, except for another thing is too, right? So on Twitch isn't the major streaming platform over in Japan.
Yeah, true. It's
mainly YouTube, or there's another one called OpenRec.
I got a feeling China has their own streaming platform.
Or China.
You probably get flagged over there, Jackson.
No, well, they're pretty open to foreigners hosting on there, but there's some sort of limits that they
on
can
Twitch
or can't.
Or on something else.
No, for Chinese streaming platforms. I'm not sure what they use, but they'd have restrictions on what you can or can't stream because of just
true.
What they have over there, like laws and stuff.
Exactly.
But like if you were to stream to Japan, you're better off streaming on YouTube. Because that's the major one.
Really?
Yeah.
Then you shouldn't be doing Twitch. You should be doing. I suppose.
You
should be doing YouTube. No, I mean YouTube streams.
Yeah. Well, the closest thing I've done to
streams.
Japanese content was I did one video where I did an intro in English and Japanese. It was kind of funny because I got comments from Japanese people saying his accent makes his Japanese sound weird. Which is completely fair.
Wouldn't any speaking any language?
Yeah. And then there was another video I did recently. It was like a little tutorial video, and someone willingly put their hand up to translate that video for Japanese people. So there is some people in Japan that like online gamers that like kind of like my content. That I think they kind of respect that I'm giving it a go, even though it's nowhere near up to standard as the best of the best of translating from English to Japan or trying to speak Japanese. It's just. people are like, oh, he's having a go. Good on him. We'll support him and stuff.
I have noticed a few channels out there. I'm not going to call them copycat channels because what they do is they take the content, and usually they do it with permission, so it's actually a good thing. But they take the content made by, say, a Chinese guy or an Indian guy, and they translate it. They do an English translation, or they that's the reverse, where it's a Chinese guy's content that's funny, and another guy will translate it to English for English speakers and that. Like, I found a couple of those YouTube channels where it actually showed this content, and I was like, oh, this is... And then I looked at it and went, oh, there's actually the original channel here and the original video. And I clicked on it and it came up and everything was in... The person was speaking Chinese or something.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was Chinese.
Yeah. There's there is one guy who lives in New York. He knows all these like different languages, and for videos he'll go around certain parts of New York speaking their language. And people, it's like he always films it for the reactions that people give. So like he speaks perfectly good Chinese, Mandarin, whatever they have, and then he'll go to like this part of New York where there's like an African community, and he'll go to a place and speak in Tongan or something. Their dialect. And like he's just filming it just for a response. He did a video when he went to India and spoke in some sort of Hindu or whatever language.
Oh, that's
and they were like, "Oh my gosh, this foreigner's speaking our language," and they were giving him free stuff.
Yeah, there's some woman who lives in Japan. And she's it's quite funny. She lives in Japan, but she's blonde.
Oh,
she's a blonde white girl in Japan.
Yeah, not very
and
common.
so she does the same thing. She'll be walking around. She'll sit down and she'll start asking for things. Like she'll sit down at a restaurant and order something, and the restaurant person goes. and says, you know, in Japanese, you're Japanese, or I think it's in China actually. She's in China, yeah.
Okay, that would make more sense.
Yeah, it was China. It wasn't Japan.
Yeah.
And the Chinese woman goes, "You have your Chinese is very amazing." It's just like, oh, thank you very much.
And that's the thing, because like
and all the customers look surprised.
Yeah, and this is the same thing with this New York guy. Like, they always say, like, oh, your Chinese is better than my Chinese, and I'm from China. Like, it's just like, wow, how good is it really?
But it's a bit different when it's in New York because, like, it's
so
a very
culture.
Diverse place.
So
Different culture. But when you're in a place where, like, she's the only white person there. Yeah. In fact, it was in another video, she's walking down the street and these group of students walk past and one of them goes, "Oh, is she from Russia?" And she turns to them and says, "No, I'm not actually from Russia. I'm from America. I'm from this in perfect Chinese." And they're like, "Oh, wow. Yeah, they're like, and they're surprised that because she understood what they were saying.
That's brilliant. Yeah, there's that reminds me of another thing. We shouldn't talk about this too much, but there was one guy caught on Instagram. He's from the US, I believe. He speaks perfectly good Chinese, and he's a stand-up comedian. So he goes
China, or
in China.
America?
No, he lives in China. So what he does, he actually goes around and does stand-up comedy in perfectly good Chinese. And he's also a radio show presenter. So he goes on this show with his other Chinese lady, and they do a radio show. And then he does on the side. He does this comedy, and like there's stuff on his Instagram post where it's just clips of him doing Chinese stand-up comedy, and like he's talking Chinese, and he's doing a bit about this American friend. So he's going from Chinese to a little bit of English back to Chinese, back to English.
Okay, to make it a bit more dramatic as well, to make it a bit realistic too. I just sitting there thinking, it must not be that funny. It must not be that funny in English.
Yeah, because he's speaking from a Chinese point of view as well, perspective with this comedy. So
yeah, well, true. Different cultures have different view. Like everyone finds similar things funny, but there's a lot of inside jokes based on where you're from. Australia's a perfect example because we can tell a joke in English, but an American person won't get it because they're not Australian.
Exactly. Yeah. All right, let's close that little thing.
Yeah, that was good. Good little segue there. I like that.
That was what I was trying to think of. Segue. Such a stupid
segue.
Word. Yeah. Let's segue into something that's not as happy and charming.
Happy.
Dun 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 dun. Jackson's
rants. I hope I ruined that for you.
No, it's fine. You added to it totally.
I was trying to take away.
No, it's fine. I don't really care.
He's so upset.
I'm so mad.
Oh,
Okay,
I'm gonna quote Spider-Man. Oh, gonna cry.
We've had this new manager for a month or two now, and the problem is he's not.
Jackson, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stop you right there. Remember that this goes out like live.
Oh yeah,
so,
yeah.
Like that's why I try not to mention too much about work.
Constructive feedback. Constructive feedback.
That you can't say to his face, of course.
No, I'm not going to say. Well, the thing is, he's stepping up, so he's moving to a new role. Good. So the new guy's coming in. He'll be talking to about this.
Wait, you had this manager for a month, or is this the new guy you're talking about?
No. So this guy was, because our last manager left, and this guy was, he's done it before, but not for Victoria. So he's based in SA or New South Wales. He's based in one of those two states. So he doesn't know where we all. Well, I mean, he should know where we all live because here's a map. I've seen the map.
So he's not a new manager. He's just new managing you
to Victoria. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So. Yeah, and usually the common sense thing has always been in the past is that, we get assigned jobs that are near us, close to our places. And then,
makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So there's three of us. I live in the southeast, one guy lives in the city, and the other guys live up north. And this week, the guy up north got sent to a place that is 10 minutes from my home. And that was today. And I was working 5 minutes from where the city guy lives. The city guy worked in a place that was 30 minutes from where I live.
Wow, what the heck? So he could have given you both those jobs and saved them the trouble. Wait, he could have given the city guy the city job, you the job that's close to
10
you.
minutes, yep.
Like, no, both of them.
Yeah, possibly.
And then the other guy, where was the other guy?
The other guy up north.
So where did the city guy go, sorry?
He went to 30 minutes away from me. So, Forest Hill.
Okay. I'm just trying to think. Because you could have done both of them. The guy up north could have done one up north and the city guy could have done the city one. Or even just send the guy up north to the closest one that's coming up or something.
Yeah, but that's not... So that was just one example. It happened twice, other 2 times this week. Both the city guy and the north guy worked in Glen Waverley. While I worked in the city for 2 days.
Oh my goodness, what the heck.
And
that's
last week, a one-off example was I went all the way to Sunshine West to do a job that lasted half an hour, and then drove 2 hours nearly all the way to Sorrento.
Goodness. What?
And that was my day.
Oh, wow.
So they asked me, why you didn't do much work on this day? I'm like, well, that's because you bloody idiot sent me from one side of the city to the friggin' polar opposite.
Is that what you said? You sent me to Sunshine, then you sent me to this place.
They didn't ask me about it, but that's
you should have
if
said.
they do.
You should have said if they did they say that?
No.
Did they say to you?
But if they do,
why?
that's what I'll say. Because
Of course, they should know that. I get a similar thing with my work a little bit though, but the difference is the people I work with, my managers are in the western suburbs and I'm in the eastern suburbs, but they're still relatively close and all that. Like, but I'll get sent a job. I'll get sent a job or number. I'll get sent to number 5 Karula Street, right? I just made up that street name.
Good name.
Then the next day I'll get sent to number 6 Karula Street. So I've had to do that. Monday I'm at this job. Tuesday I'm at this job next door.
Down the road.
And I'm sitting there going, why didn't we just organise with the builders for both of these jobs?
Yeah.
In fact, Monday, right, I'm working a house on this street, and then I'm working a house next door. I'm sorry, not next door, but next street over, right? But the funny thing is, one of those I was originally going to do this week, but I had to send it back because there were issues.
Right.
And so they were able to sort. And I said to them multiple times, these two houses are right next to each other. So I think they worked it out and put them next to each other. So my managers sort of try to figure it out, but it's a bit different because sometimes just because we got a job coming up doesn't mean it's ready for us. So
no, I guess not. Yeah. And
but when it's like that week, when they're both on the same week, it's a bit silly.
Yeah. Another thing they do was the job I was at today. They didn't give me the right stickers that need to be used for the job.
Oh no! So you couldn't do the job.
They assigned me to the job, but then they didn't give me the stickers that I needed, and that's happened for 3 sites this month.
Well, that's good. That just means you don't have to do any of the work.
No, I still have to do it.
Day.
It's just it looks crappy on the
You
job.
just put the worst stickers on.
No, it's,
I didn't want to put the yellow stickers on, but they didn't give me the green ones.
There was one hotel where they were like, "Can you please make sure you try and hide the tag?" I'm like, "Well, we can't really do that because
Why would you need to
be."
hide the tag?
It was a hotel. And
I see.
They wanted to make it look pretty. Like, can you put it
You know what
as
you do?
close
You know what
to
you do?
where it comes out of your
Put
pants?
extra tags on. Put like 3. Put a couple. Can you please hide the tag? Someone looks at the light, and there's just a row of tags on the court.
Yeah, I need another tag actually. Try to do that to your tool.
Like I'm talking, yeah, dude, I'm talking like next to each other, button to button. So it's just a tag.
Yeah, and then people won't run over because they'll see it and they're like, "What is that?"
The builder will go, "Is your tools test and tag?" And I'll hold up the cord and go, "Yep." It's just a stream of them.
I don't know if that'll work, but sure. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna have.
Wait, are you able to do that? Like, if I get you to tag
that's. I
something
mean,
for
I
me,
could easily do it, but it's
just,
stupid.
No, I mean, just leave the old tag on. Then when I get a new tag on, instead of taking it off,
I can, but it
put
looks
the
ugly.
new one on.
It just looks ugly and terrible.
That's the point.
Okay, maybe next time I will.
My tools don't have to look attractive.
I mean,
that angle grinder.
that angle.
It can vibrate.
It can, Troy. It can grind
It can grind. You flesh right
at
off.
all angles. And then there's the multi-tool. Don't get me started with the multi-tool. Oh boy.
Oh my goodness! I shouldn't have used the word attractive. Should have said look good. Didn't have to look good.
You got me into this bit, and you made me forget my troubles and my anger.
Hey, people are attracted to inanimate objects.
I know,
so
and
it's
good on them.
completely fair.
It's completely fine. Yep.
If you like an exhaust pipe of a car, I'm not going to judge you, as long as it doesn't hurt anyone.
Have you seen the video about the dude and he loves his car?
Yes, I have. I have heard. Have you seen the dude about the video who loves just cars in general? So he'll go up to other people's cars.
I have not seen that one, no.
Okay, there's one guy that he's attracted to other people's cars.
That's disturbing.
So remember to keep your car in your garage.
There was a lady in Germany or somewhere in that part of Europe where she married a chandelier. And it wasn't just any chandelier, it was this massive grand chandelier.
Of course.
So,
but what did she do with it afterwards? It just stayed up there on the roof.
No,
it wasn't. We've got a very long distance relationship.
It wasn't. I don't think it was attached. It was on the. She actually had it on the ground, but it was huge and it looked so weird though. But yeah, 2023. You'd like what you want. Just keep it in your pants. Thank you very much.
to each his own. Don't even keep it in your pants. Just keep it away from me.
That's the line. Don't cross that line.
Look, as long as you're not hurting anybody but yourself, I don't care.
I was going to say, is keeping it in your pants the perfect segue to what we're going to be talking about now?
I don't know. I forgot what were we going to talk about now.
So supposedly we were going to try and create our own. Sort of
right, the literotica.
Yeah, literotica.
Hey, well, this was your idea, not my idea. I thought it was a bad idea.
Okay.
Just because my wife likes romance werewolf stories.
Which is perfectly fine. That's what Twilight movie's about. Bloody...
I don't think she's a... Wait, hold on a second. Courtney? Courtney?
Do you like...
Awfully quiet. Were you a fan of Twilight or not?
Letitia was.
She was?
Yep. She made me watch the movies with her. Yeah,
but that's not... Okay, did she read the books?
I think she did have a book. I'm not sure if she had all the books.
Oh, I didn't know. That's a surprise to me. She was a fan of Twilight.
Well, she had a goth phase, and Twilight was the perfect sort of thing for that.
Wait, although I can tell you if Courtney read the books. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, no worries. Troy's got his belt on, his underpants, his big ass booty shaking. Damn, he can twerk. Gosh. This is a YouTube exclusive, Troy twerking. If you pay, we haven't got any. We haven't got any Patreon or anything.
I couldn't find Twilight, but I found 50 Shades of Grey, so I'm gonna have a talk with her later.
Wait, why do you have to talk about 50 Shades of Grey?
No, I'm joking. I didn't actually find it.
That'd be quite funny. If you, although it's weird that you'd have it just randomly out in the open in the bookshelf.
But Courtney does like a man with more
Grey.
hairy man, more gray. Again, well, she does have the Witcher there.
Oh, The Witcher. Okay. Right. So
Geralt of Rivia.
instead of really creating one, I've actually got Chat GPT to try create.
Oh no!
But the thing is,
I
so when
already
no,
tried
no,
this
no,
once.
it's not bad. So I asked it to write. I
It
said,
can't be bad.
write me an erotica novel about werewolves.
Wait, it actually responded to that? When I
Yeah.
tried that, it said, no, that's against my terms and services.
Yeah, it basically said, I apologize, but I'm unable to generate the story for you. And then I asked again in a different way, and it says, I'm sorry, but I'm an AI developed by someone, but I'm not able to generate explicit or adult content.
Yeah.
And then I asked, well, can you write me a love novel about werewolves?
Yeah, of course. And it went, yeah, sure, of course I can do that. Logan was a werewolf.
So
It was Logan, wasn't it?
So it gave me...
If it used the...
Go on.
What was the name of the character? The guy?
Well,
it Logan?
it gave me a sample of a book called Moonlit Desires.
Moonlit Desires. Oh my
Sebastian
goodness.
Blackwood was the main character's name, I think.
And the vampire version
the
was
lady's
called Dark
name-
Desires.
And the lady's name was Evelyn Rivers.
Oh, wait, what was the guy's name again?
Sebastian Blackwood.
Oh, of course it's Sebastian.
Did we talk about names like when we were on the phone the other day? Like, oh, that's such a vampire name, like Alex or something.
Sebastian is a vampire name. I wonder why it would be in a werewolf one.
What was the name we were suggesting the other day on the phone? Alex or something? Alex.
Yeah, it was Alex or Alexia. Not Alexia.
Lexi.
Alexander
Alexander.
or something.
Such a vampire name. So
Courtney and I have been watching Castlevania.
Oh, you've been watching Castlevania?
Yeah, you've played the game. Oh, you've heard of the game.
No,
haven't
I
you?
don't know the games. Yeah.
Okay, well, this is it's based on the games, but it's got Dracula, and then it's got Dracula's son Alucard,
Yes, Alucard. Yes.
which is Dracula backwards. But
Correct.
anyway, the funny thing is, I showed it to Courtney, and we started watching it. We've watched a couple of seasons, but I didn't realize it would be. I thought it was as gruesome for a cartoon. Like I've seen more gruesome, but I didn't know it was going to be like that. It's pretty extreme, like in the cartoon sense.
Definitely.
Like it's definitely an adult cartoon.
Yeah, because of the costumes, no doubt. Or is
because
violence.
because it's got a guy who's got like a what do you call those whips that you hit your back with?
Nine Tails.
It's not a nine tails. But it's just that is the whip.
Cat
but
tail or
it's-
something. Yeah.
He's got a thick leather whip that has spikes on it, and he's whipping himself.
Lashes.
Yeah, it's like a lasher.
Okay.
It's like a belt, but it's like that thick and has spikes on it.
Yep.
But the character like flings it onto a guy's face, and it wraps around his face, and he pulls, and it just rips like the skin off his face, and you see the guy going ah,
Oh, jeez.
with like these flesh tears through his face.
Yikes. That doesn't sound overly good,
And
I'll be honest.
that's just what the human guy does to another human guy. Like the vampire's just ripping people to pieces and that.
Jeez. Mm-hmm. Well,
Of course, the main character hero humans like are able to perfectly fight off Dracula with minimal damage. Mm-hmm. He punches Alucard in the face, and Alucard goes flying like through a wall. Mm-hmm. But he punches one of the main. He punches like the main hunter character is called Trevor. He punches him, and he just gets thrown half a meter away, and he's able to get up perfectly fine. Meanwhile, like he's flinging Alucard throughout the castle, just ripping the joint apart.
So, I'm actually going to do a couple things here.
You're doing your literotica.
No, yeah. Can you give me 4 more words that you would expect to find in a love story or an erotica? 4 words. 4 words.
That are sensitive, like normal, like
Just
words you wouldn't.
any normal
not
word.
not sexy words or normal words.
Not typically sexy, but yeah.
Okay, catch, grab.
Ooh, grab. I love that one.
Let's see, caress.
Caress. How do you spell caress?
Don't ask me. I've got no idea.
I'll just
And
caress.
and I was gonna say travel, but that doesn't make sense. Break.
Break. Bend. I'm gonna do bent.
Bend, that works, yes. I mean, those are all... surely I can come up with better...
That'll do.
Besides generic love.
So, yeah.
And...
So this is we're going to go on a while. This is a weird sort of idea that I've done. I don't know why I thought this was
just
a good
as long
idea
as
now.
my name and your name are not in the story.
No names.
Okay,
I'm not, okay, so ChatGPT gave me this sample of this werewolf book. So I'm going to read it out and just don't interrupt. I'll just try to read it out and just try and enjoy it.
I will try to enjoy it.
Well, for those who are interested in books, the chapter 1, the Enigmatic Encounter. Evelyn Rivers, a spirited and independent woman in her late 20s, found solace in the lush forests that surrounded her quaint hometown. Little did she know that her life was about to take a thrilling turn when she stumbled upon a secret that had been concealed for centuries. It was a moonlit night when she first encountered him, the captivating and enigmatic stranger named Sebastian Blackwood. Tall and ruggedly handsome, he possessed an aura of mystery that drew her in like a moth to a flame. But there was something else, a hidden power in his eyes that made her heart race. As their paths crossed again, Evelyn discovered that Sebastian was no ordinary man. I don't know why I thought to say Scottish in that bit. Yes. That's no ordinary rabbit. That's a Monty Python.
Do it all in that accent. Do it all in that accent from now on.
Beneath his charming exterior, he hid a remarkable secret. A secret that connected him to the ancient bloodline of werewolves. Bound by duty.
Oh, fucking werewolves.
Bounded by beauty and tradition, he led a life of primal instincts and untamed desires. Chapter 2. Unveiling the Veil.
Keep doing it in the accent.
Drawn deeper into Sebastian's world, Evelyn experienced a profound connection with him, a bond that transcended the boundaries of reasons and logic. She found herself torn between fear and fascination, fighting against the ever-growing desire that simmered beneath her skin. But with the revelation of his true nature came the revelation of her forbidden love, an intense and passionate affair that defied the rules set by their warring worlds. Wow. As their hearts as their hearts entwined, they faced countless challenges. This is exactly just Twilight. They faced countless challenges. Opposition from werewolf clans, the struggle to control the primal instincts within, and the constant danger of exposure to the human realm. Chapter 3.
Oh my goodness! How many? Stop! How many are there?
This is the last chapter.
Okay, good.
But there's a few different paragraphs. There's 3 different paragraphs. So, under the chaining... sorry. This chapter is called...
change accent.
Okay. Moonlit seduction. Under the enchanting glow of the moon, their love blossomed, exploring the boundaries of pleasure and desire. Each encounter was an intoxicating dance between two souls. Their bodies entwined with a hunger that could not be sated. With each transformation beneath the moonlight sky, Sebastian and Evelyn discovered the untamed power of their love. That was weird. I went British again.
Change.
They delved deeper into the mysteries of the shared destinies. Unearthing ancient prophecies, therefore told their union as a force to reshape the fate of their kind. But as passion reached its crescendo, dark forces I don't know why I'm doing this. It went Italian, but then I went back to Scottish.
Change.
But this passion reached its crescendo, dark forces conspired to tear them apart. And each other had to happen. And each other vendetta threatened to shatter their love. And Evelyn found herself at the center of a deadly conflict. A battle that would test their devotion and force them to make sacrifices that never anticipated. And then it says, will their love conquer all? Can they? Blah, blah, blah. The end.
American, go.
That's it. That's finished.
Okay, I was hoping to get the American at the end there, where made their love conquer all.
So it seemed that like Twilight really, brought forth this sort of type of genre. I don't know, because I don't know if there was stuff before Twilight. There probably was.
It
populated.
Twilight was the big thing. Wasn't Twilight meant to be? Or was it 50 Shades of Grey? One of them was like a like not Harry Potter, but it was like a fanfic of some other book.
Yeah, probably. I feel like if that's one thing, that would have been Twilight, definitely.
I think no, but was it Twilight or was it 50 Shades?
No, it would have to be Twilight because it's fantasy.
It was probably Twilight. It does kind of sound like a fanfic,
fantasy.
doesn't it?
50 Shades of Grey does not sound fantasy. Only in someone's head that could be a fantasy.
I suppose. I miss the old school vampires. Give me the Nosferatu. Give me a Nosferatu love story.
What's a Vesperatu?
So it's one of the original vampires. Well, actually, no. It's one of the first vampire movies is called Nosferatu, and the vampire's like a basically bald, small, shriveling, bald creature. It's Gollum with fangs.
Okay.
Did you search Nosferatu?
No. I have not. I just.
What did you?
You remember?
You continued on the chapter.
Do you remember our old mate Inficate?
Yes. Did you put it into Inficate as well?
Yep. Because Inficate's more out there. It doesn't care.
If Inficate's more less what's the word I'm looking for? PG-13.
Less conservative. It's more
less conservative. Yes.
So.
Oh God.
This is a story about sexy werewolves.
Oh God.
They are the creatures.
Yes.
People are like, finally, this is the part of the episode I was waiting for.
I always wanted sexy werewolves.
They are the creatures.
Now I'm just thinking of a hairy woman, but in a sexy way.
No. Well, let me.
Like she's hairy, but it's just the breasts are slightly hairy. Like it's like a werewolf costume.
Well, luckily this is just text format.
There's just like hair here that's completely like it looks more like underwear rather than hair.
I think you think of the wrong sexy Troy.
No, I'm thinking of a sexy werewolf. Okay. Her hair's like, instead of it being that long, it's like extra long.
Yeah. Okay.
She's got a couple of fangs.
This is giving me 1,000-word or 1,000-character restriction.
1,000. Oh wow.
Okay. They are the creatures of the legends and monsters that terrify all. The men that haunt the attic and rooms are never the cute little monsters we find in the nursery stories.
But they grab their asses so tight.
Raphael and Helena have grown up with these stories.
Raphael
and yeah.
Fair enough. Change accent.
They have seen them firsthand. But it seems
okay, change back.
But
normal talk.
It seems that these fantasies weren't enough for them. In a desperate attempt...
They weren't enough for them.
Yeah, well, in a desperate attempt to tame and gain some more muscle in their already very sexy bodies, they decide to take part of the guys that attacked them that night and add to their collection.
You're so sexy, but what we need to do is we need to get you sexier.
Oh, so
more sex appeal.
So Raphael and Helena are grown up with these stories about werewolves, or they are the werewolves?
I don't know. You're the one reading the story. I can't see the
Inficate. Okay, well, however, the outcome is quite different, to say the least. Their skills are very out of practice, and this encounter turns more into an adventure than a proper rape.
Oh yeah, I'm getting real... Wait, what? I was literally about to say, oh yeah, I'm getting real raunchy, and then you used the R word. Then you said rape, and I was just like, okay, never mind. I'm not that... Can you read that back to me?
However,
I love Inficate. Inficate is so much more entertaining than ChatGPT.
It really
is. You want a normal bland story about I drive bus down the street and then I get to my destination, but when I turned around there was a bus. Yeah, Inficate's like I was driving my bus and then when I turned around there was something there.
Okay, so I'm going to read that again because you asked for it.
He's in there. Well, I'm glad he's in there. We're out here. He's the sheriff.
That's not That is still funny, though. Okay, so as that paragraph just went. However, the outcome is quite different, to say the least. Their skills are very out of practice, and this encounter turns more into an adventure than a proper rape. Like,
every time I hear that, what's
a prorate?
I don't even know. Okay. Can you even do a proper? No,
I don't know. But this next part actually.
Let's move on.
Proper.
Let's move on.
what they are doing to each other, it's like something out of the ancient horror movies. They grab each other and bite their lips and tongue, make each other shake with pleasure. A girl's touch, caressing in the most intimate of places, and a deadly bite have made them totally wild.
Have you ever bitten a tongue?
Yes, it hurts. Their lust has become an obsession.
I don't mean your own. I imagine it would hurt if someone bit your tongue.
It probably would,
unless they
force.
And even if they didn't bite it like hard, even if they just bit it like teasingly, that would not. I would not enjoy that kiss. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
Would not enjoy that.
So yeah, that's the last sentence was the lust has become an obsession.
Oh wow! Now it's getting raunchy again.
That's the book. That's the story.
I'll tell you something funny. So we were talking about this stuff, right? And ironically, there was a manga I was looking at a few months ago or a few weeks ago. And what I do with mangas, if I see something that's interesting, I'll put it in the corner. I'll put it in the tab and leave it there for 6 months or longer, however long. It's in my tabs. And I went back to one of these mangas that I've got here, and it's called. Why don't you give it a search? It's called Killing Bites.
Okay.
And go to the wiki or. Go to Wiki or whatever else and read the synopsis.
Plot. Oh my god! What the frick is that cover? Okay.
Describe the cover first. I don't actually know what, but I can imagine what it is.
There's legit a naked anime girl. She's got fur. She's got claws. Yep. Very white and black like a skunk.
Yep, that's because she's a honey badger.
Wearing no clothes except for the fact that her breasts are covered by the badger's tail and hind, and her bottom part is covered by the badger's claw. And then the badger is sort of screaming, kicking at the cover.
Okay, so when you said sexy werewolves, I pictured something similar to that. Except obviously not an anime character.
Well, obviously, yeah.
A real person.
Okay, so the plot. When attacked by some college students, Hitomi kills all of them except Yuya, who is shocked to see her transform into a beast and battle a lion monster at an abandoned waste facility. These strange people are called brutes, fighters that have been created to combine the brains of humans and fangs of beasts. The Killing Bites battles have been the decisive turning points in the Japanese economy since ancient times. Hitomi is assigned to protect
fighting
Yuya.
Mangas are like that, yeah.
That's crazy.
That's pretty much what chapter 1 and 2 describes and explains.
The first one came out in 2014, the most recent one was 2021.
Oh, yeah, so it must have finished. I need to get around to reading it. I've only read up to chapter 2. But the first chapter is basically, she gets kidnapped by a bunch of college students, kills them all except for the driver, which is that guy. And then they go to some sort of arena where she fights a lion man and kills him.
This is the problem I have with these mangas, is that they basically draw near nudity characters, and it's like, no, this is G, mate. This is definitely G.
This is the problem. We might make a subject. We might make it a subject for something next week, or the week at some point.
Yeah.
But this is the problem I've currently got with mangas and animes in general. Is they're very much about the plot.
Yeah.
Plot. They're not about good storyline. They're about the plot.
Okay.
And let me tell you, the plot has thickened a little bit too much for me.
The plot has thickened.
There's only so many animes I can handle where it's like it's a harem or it's not even the harem, because you can make a good harem anime without it being overly sexualized. You can make it more of a romance thing, but a lot of them are like that. And even the good ones that are like because I'll watch an anime or something that's all about the plot, but it will have a good storyline. It kind of just gets in the way a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sort of seeing what you mean by the plot thickens. It's gotten too thick. I'm going to send you a picture of what I'm looking at, and then you tell me this is what you mean, because, damn, that's...
Okay. Send it on Discord so I can see it right now.
It's sending or sent.
Yep, it just popped up. It's just waiting for it to... What the heck?
Killing Bites episode 7.
Is that what came up? Is that the anime? That's
Killing
the anime.
Bites episode 7 review. Uncontrollable Lust and Kiddo's Rampage.
Oh my goodness! You know the funny thing, right? That's completely normal.
Okay.
Not in. Well, I don't know if it's in that, but in a lot of these newer animes, yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely PG, folks. And like, I'm gonna send you one more photo.
And you know the funny thing is that's like I'm not gonna that's obviously you look at it and it's overly sexualized, but it's not like it's implication. It's all correct. Implication.
There's another one. That's another screenshot. I just
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But that's the funny thing. That's PG-13.
Yeah,
just. It's very close, but it's all they're doing is licking each other. Nothing wrong with that.
Because I like the basic
completely
translation.
on YouTube. As long as kids aren't watching it, and it's not that it's very hard to prove you're 18 on YouTube.
That's it. It's kind of funny because there's a gecko character as well, or lizard character.
Yeah, it looks. Is she meant to be a leopard? She's meant to be a leopard, isn't she?
Maybe.
It looks like a leopard.
Like a lizard
the
character.
Ears.
No, this is a lizard character, a gecko-like character.
No. The second photo you sent me.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what that is. I'm looking at this picture of of this character. It looks like it's got a lizard or a gecko type.
Looks like we. Tell you what, you get Letitia to read or watch this anime. Read the manga.
The translation of the title in Japanese is literally Kyuringu Baitsu.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
I didn't realize it had that much plot in it. That's a bit ridiculous.
I love that your term for plot means basically that stuff.
Well, that's what it's become an inside joke now. Like, that's why people are always like, it's all about the plot.
How much plot does insert any anime name here?
I mean, there's a whole anime about people fighting with their bums. So,
yeah.
Ironically, though, I've watched a couple of clips of that. It actually looks kind of entertaining in a weird way. Because it's like the Izuma 11, you know, the soccer where they kick the ball. You know, like they use the ball catches fire, something like that. It's like someone's butt, except it's like meteor butt hit or something.
Okay, so I'm going to end on this segment with this.
I just realised I could. Oh, good, my thing's still recording.
No,
did you do another info kit?
Okay, that failed. I said this is a story of an anime and include the word "sexy grab bent butt," and it went on to a thing about This is a story
probably
of anime.
Described an actual anime.
It went on like a radio show bit, like so. No. This is a story of an anime-inspired performance artist showing off her backside. You're all the way here on some sort of radio station.
That took a left turn. That took a massive left turn.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. You can't say it's not creative. Is that Infokit?
Yes.
You can't say it's not creative.
What's a really common Japanese female name, antagonist name?
Well, I was going to say Sakura, but that's not an antagonist.
No,
Yuki.
Yuki's good.
Yuki's a good name in general to use, but I think bad guys or anti-hero girls are usually called Yuki.
Okay, so Infokit's running us a anime thing with a girl called Yuki. She's completely naive. She gets kidnapped by someone called Yuzo, who she finds out to be a man with sexual desires.
That sounds about right.
Sounds like every man. Yeah. This leads Yuki to have a whole bunch of nonsense where she finds herself falling in love with Yuzo, and Yuzo decides he likes Yuki, and Yuki
stop. He's just Yuzoing you.
And Yuki not. Oh my gosh.
I just realised this was a bit too far away. So.
So yeah,
we'll have to enhance.
Yuki finds herself falling in love with Yuzo, and Yuzo deciding he likes Yuki, and Yuki not finding him sexy at all, and eventually Yuzo decides that Yuki is the one who is into him. This is a great scene where Yuki decides to throw herself at Yuzo because she is so sexy, and Yuzo responds to grabbing Yuki and kissing her, leading to an amazing wrestling bout.
It's a wrestling bout.
It's all just utter nonsense, yeah, absolutely magical, and it really
That's
fun
how babies
story
are made,
to follow.
Jackson. Wrestling bouts.
Anyway,
apparently you're gonna have to deal with the Undertaker.
Apparently, that was based off a real anime.
I mean,
it ended up being a review.
Kind of. I guess that could be considered a proud of. Like, it probably describes a few animes in broad detail.
Yeah, too much plot.
I'm confused. So who loves who in this now?
Yuki falls in love with Yuzo because she thinks he's sexy, but Yuzo likes Yuki, but doesn't think she's that sexy at all. And then so Yuki throws herself at Yuzo, and they end up having a wrestling bout.
Okay, hold on. Okay, I've searched Yuzo and Yuki, and I've got Yuki cocktail recipe and ingredients, adult bar.
That's what you want.
I've got softest moist Yuzo lemonade pound cake. This is just what I've googled. This is DuckDuckGo. That's why.
That's why.
And it's got here. Did Ishikawa, Toru, and Yuki end up together?
Toru,
which on Reddit. And then you'll love this. The next thing to come up. Dan Murphy's Japanese Yuki drink or Japanese Yuzo drink. I guess it's a type of drink.
I'm trying to think. What's the Japanese gang? The Yakuza. That's it.
Yakuza, yes.
That's different again.
I'm glad Courtney's alive. I just heard her laugh at something. It was a very high pitched laugh, so even I could hear it through these headphones.
Well. What do you reckon, Troy? That's about an hour. You reckon we've run out of content to talk about?
Yep. Yeah, we've reached our peak.
Our peak,
peaked at the moment.
I was about to say the same thing.
Hopefully we haven't peaked overall. Hopefully we've just peaked for this episode. But I'll finish it with saying, Jackson, you know there is a character called Yuzo Yukimoto.
Where's it from?
She's an anime character, I think. Let me check.
Yukimoto, you said, yeah?
Yes.
It sounds like a name from...
It's there's a manga...
Not Danganronpa, is it?
What's that?
It's not a Danganronpa character.
No, it's called Sun Ohara in Resident.
Sun Ohara in Resident, okay.
Chapter... Is that the... So Ohara so no Yukarin... Karinin Sun Wiki.
Wait, what's the game's name? Yuki?
Yuzu.
Sorry,
Yuzu Yuki. What is this? It looks like a
Mako. What was it?
It looks like a slice of life manga for girls.
Yuzu. What was the last name?
It's called Miss Caretaker of Sohano Yu. My goodness.
Yeah. This.
What, have you heard of this?
Yeah, Miss Caretaker of Sanoharasu.
Yes, that's the one.
There are people on my Splatoon team who read mangas, and yeah, this one they've talked about.
I mean, it just looks like I said, a slice of life, girls, sort of for girls.
Yeah,
manga.
Yeah, bit strange. Anyway, we've peaked.
We'll have to do the anime episode now at some point. I want to do the anime episode because for someone who likes Japanese and likes the language and likes the people, you don't really know that much about manga or anime, do you?
No, not really.
Which is fascinating. All
right, guys, since we've officially peaked, we're going to go downhill from here.
Grown up with Dragon Ball Z or something.
I know. See, the thing is, I was more into the Western side of comics, so like Asterix, Tintin.
I love it how you say Western side and you come up with the French comics.
Yeah, well, that's west of Japan.
I mean, sure, but you know, you've got
but like,
Superman.
That's what they say.
Batman,
like,
Spider-Man.
Yeah. But like, I don't care about those. I really don't. Phantom though. Phantom was another one I liked.
Once again, I think Phantom is actually French.
Probably
I think it might be. Let me check that.
Let me check that.
Comics origin.
It might be South African.
Phantom. American. It's American.
Oh, it's American. Yeah. Lee
Phantom
Falk,
is an American adventure comic strip. Yeah.
Yep.
Published by Lee Falk.
Yep. That's just what I said. Yeah. Lee Falk. Oh, mate, Lee.
Yes, but let's just have a look. Creation of Mandrake and Magician of Phantom Theatre. Because a lot of... you'd be surprised how many characters are designed. Like, for example, DC characters or Marvel characters. You'd be surprised how many like overlap in the same person designed the characters or created the characters. Mm-hmm. Or wrote... a lot of people have wrote stories for both companies.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's why people always go I'm trying to think of... Because I used to follow a YouTuber who does specifically comics and all that, mm-hmm. and he specifically talked about this writer's work or this artist's art design and stuff like that. And I'm trying to think of the one. There's some well-known basically comic book writers out there.
Okay.
But anyway, we'll end it. Let's end this. End the episode. I'm done.
Thank you, Troy.
Finished.
Thank you.
I was struggling. I almost fell asleep earlier. Look at my eyes, they're red.
Yeah, I know. Thanks guys for listening and watching us again. Follow us on the socials, check out the other links, and yeah, we'll see you all next episode.
And as always, good eye, mate.
Catches.